Mama told me when I was young, she'd sit beside me, my only son, and listen closely to what I say. If you do this, it'll help you some sunny day. Oh yeah. Oh, take your time, don't live too fast. Troubles will come, they will pass. You'll find a woman, and you'll find love. Don't forget, son, there is someone up above. And be a simple kind of man, or be something you love and understand. So baby, be a simple kind of man. Won't you do this for me, son, if you can? Go get your lust for the rich man's gold. All that you need is in your soul. You can do this, oh baby, if you try. All that I want for you, my son, is to be satisfied and be a simple kind of man. Be something you love and understand. Yeah, baby, be a simple kind of man. Won't you do this for me, son, if you can? Boy, don't you worry, you'll find yourself. Follow your heart and nothing else. Yeah, you can do this, oh baby, if you try. All that I want for you, my son, is to be satisfied and be a simple kind of man. Don't be something you love and understand. Yeah, baby, be a simple kind of man. Won't you do this for me, son, if you can?
You're a mean one.
Mr. Grinch, you really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus and as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black pea. Just face the music, you're a monster, Mr. Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders. You got garlic in your soul, Mr. Grinch. I wanna touch you with a 39.5-foot pole. You're a child, Mr. Grinch. You got termites in your smile. You have all the tender sweetness of a seasoned crocodile, Mr. Grinch. Well, given the choice between the two of you, I would take the seasoned crocodile. You're a foul one, Mr. Grinch. You're a nasty, wet skunk. Your heart is full of unwashed socks and your soul is full of gunk, Mr. Grinch. The three best words I would use to describe you are as follows, and I quote: stag! Stag! Stag!
Hola, peeps. I thought I'd swing by. Was trying to go to sleep. Can't sleep. I felt awfully bad today. Quite sick. Had the notion of makeup and such. I had my usual festive self. And I just couldn't even manage that. I was like, hell no, I'm putting on the comfy clothes. Fuck it. It's a choice between. Yeah. So I did mostly the comfy clothes today, and um, just went with it. And it was that or I wasn't making it, period. So it's like, nope, it's one of the other type of days. So, um, and then like the charcuterie board kicked my entire ass. Uh, didn't quite eat. And then I probably made the worst decision of the entire year. And I knew it was a bad idea. And it was. Um, but the adult in me craves like at least one adult beverage this year. Just one. Like, mm-mm. Which I actually think, like, the last time I had a drink was like maybe that fucking SWAT and call. Don't remember, but either way, I thought, okay, holiday, I'll have a drink. Couples like yay big. The whole White Russian vodka's not my thing. It's really good. Tasted like chocolate mint. I look. Okay, I tried. 6 hours in, still hadn't drank all of it, but knew better. It's like, man, when one needs more blood transfusions and all kinds of shit and didn't finish on the ones that needed to begin with and did not stay my ass in the hospital, should not be drinking. I knew better. And I already felt bad, but you know me. Fuck around and find out, right? Took like 6 hours. It did not help the way I felt in the least. I knew better and did it anyway. Story of my fucking life. Anyway, it's really tasty though. Never made it to pine. That tells you how bad I felt and still feel. And I always make it. I didn't make it. Yeah, so I feel freaking terrible. And sleep is not gonna come, let me tell you. So, I don't know much, but they're not my things, but this person makes them, and there's chocolate involved, and they're good, so either way, I thought, okay, and then the person was like, you really think, I probably should not, I'm not supposed to be, like, I'm supposed to be taking, like, aspirin for the strokey heart things, whatever, or at least while in an actual hospital setting, but also not supposed to be touching those even. So alcohol bad, right? But yeah. I was like, well, maybe just one, since they're not even like as large as, like say a red solo cup. Uh-uh. I took 6 hours with that thing, and still, it was not a good idea. It was not. Plus, I keep having bleeds from places, and I don't know. I don't know where in the fuck they expect this blood to. It ain't staying anyway. Keep fucking pouring it out. Tells the point anyway. Seriously? Oh my god. Oh my god. So anyway, holy shit. Really went up to 54 in like 5 minutes. Bro! Anyway, I found this piece. And it's been... Now, y'all, you know how in the hell I feel about News Nation and other places, okay? Y'all hear me on the regular, but don't share the anti-tragedy pimp bullshit, right? And I'll stick with that. I'll stick with that. I'm not a Grace Enton douche nozzle entertainment only. Like, look, don't try to sell me news and entertainment, okay? Fuck that shit. It's as bad as this goddamn place. Maybe worse, considering they have tragedy pimps spilling their shit all the fucking night. Being whole ass stupid. This dumbass shit. Even average Joes out here can figure the fuck out. I just can't with it, okay? Anyway. So, but I run across this piece, right? Yesterday night, maybe? After I left here? It was after I left here. No blood. And, probably because I've mentioned fuck Married Nation one too many times. It showed up in the algorithms. But it showed up with one of those that marry a band of fucking Carl idiots is a problem with it, right? Siphoning boo boo fat shit nutters. Criminals pretend not to be goddamn criminal motherfuckers. Anyway, I roll up in this piece, right? Now, at first, I don't think anything of it any more than, and I think it's on it. Look, you know, for a very long time, um, there was this brick wall piece that kind of stuck out to me. I was like, fuck. Those of you who've been here long enough know what I'm talking about. I had a very low view count in comparison to every other news piece about summer ever. But I was like, sort of always just kind of back there somewhere, you know. Then, so I think that's what this is initially about. But I click anyway. And actually what it is a double. Okay. It's that news piece, and then it's Ansley apparently with a visit on News Nation for the 2 year mark. I didn't know that she done. Cause I don't watch fucking News Nation. Now if I realize or whatever that there's something out there to actually go see, and it's whatever. I bet that won't ever really be tragedy pimp shit or goof shit or just be watching that place. I don't like the place. So I guess it took me about, I don't know. 5+ months or realized that Ainsley done this piece on News Nation. And because it's Ainsley, I'm like, okay, it's cool by me. Right. Not tragedy. Therefore, cool by me. Okay. And as always, you know that I say to kind of stick with local and investigative journalists and such. So, alright, well, this is new. Let's check this out. So I stick around and watch. What the fuck? Now, I don't know how this is not being played around here. Well, actually, I do in the past. Almost 6 months. Because it's been during a certain cleansing cycle. So I'm sure that's why it's not really getting any air. Right? Weird that. No, it's not. It's probably why I myself didn't know about it either. Until probably about 24 hours ago. But anyway, so this is wild. Pretty wild. You know what? Let me just do it this way. Say, hold on. Yeah. Okay. We're not gonna do that. Alright. So I'm just gonna do it this way. Right. A little easier.
Who's who in the Summer Wells case? No one has been charged in the disappearance.
Now this one I've been aware of for a very long time, and it always, like when I first, like, had like a couple hundred views, right? But it always sort of semi-stuck with me for a few reasons. But yeah, I've mentioned it more a few times. I've played it a couple times, but anyway.
Of the now 6-year-old little girl. There haven't been any leads and no tangible.
Really?
Said that everyone is a suspect. Everyone.
I've not got my shit hooked up, so it's like memory, please. Anyway.
Summer Wells case. No one has been charged in the disappearance of the now 6-year-old little girl. There haven't been any leads and no tangible evidence on her whereabouts. But there are several people involved in Summer's life and now this case that you should know about.
Yeah, I don't know.
First, we have Summer's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly. Together, they have 3 boys and Summer. Currently, Don is in jail for violating his probation stemming from a DUI charge. He's been on camera the most, but on the other hand, his wife,
Hasn't been on camera much, just once with us and with Dr. Phil and a few times on YouTube. Last July, Child Protective Services removed Summer's older brothers from their home. According to Candace and law enforcement, they were the last to see the little girl. Their grandmother, Candace's mother, was also one of the last to see Summer, spending the entire day with her. This is Rose Bly. She's Summer's aunt and hasn't been seen since 2009 when she went missing from St. Croix Falls, Wisconsin. The Wells are Seventh-day Adventist, and they attended a church in Kingsport. Outside of her family, Summer is best known by church members, her Sunday school teacher, Robin Lane, and family friend, David Dotson. After Summer had been missing for several weeks, prayer circles were organized by community members like Timmy Etherton, and some of them were even attended by her family. Also helping the family, a private investigator, Chris Colmall with CNC Investigations. Along with that, there's also a media manager. His name is Tim Mullen. Both are local. These people, along with the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office, the TBI, and the FBI, and hundreds of searchers, all have the most vested interest in finding Summer. Here's the area of Hawkins County from where Summer went missing from. You'll notice that there is one main road that runs through the length of the entire county. There's also a river that does the same. And if it wasn't through the woods, it was through these main roads from where she went missing that connects Beach Creek to anywhere. So how does a child just disappear from an area like this? Well, most think not by accident.
There is so much interest in this case. As soon as we said we would be...
Now this apparently was happening on the 2-year anniversary, right? I did not know this was a thing, right? It's about 24 hours ago.
Revisiting it, and it is one of the first missing cases that we covered. The emails started pouring in. People care about this case now, 2 years later, just as much as they did when Summer first went missing. I have a lot of questions from viewers, and I'm going to try to get to some of them. Some may be difficult to answer, but you're closer to the case than most. I want to begin with a question from Betty in Florida, and she says, does law enforcement have any person of interest or suspects in the case, or have they throughout the investigation?
Now, I hope to God this is not bullhorn. That this is not the Betty from Florida, but considering News Nation and who they rub elbows with and fist bump, it seems, shit, who knows really. Anyway, carrying on.
Any evidence discovered that supports the theory that Summer had been abducted? Can you shed any light on that question from Betty?
So since the very beginning, law enforcement said that everyone is a suspect in this case, meaning her parents, people who were close to her at church, anybody in the family, such as her grandmother, maybe even implying to other members of the family and neighbors. So again, law enforcement has not ruled anyone out 2 years later. However, nobody has been charged. So I think that that's important to kind of say both of those things, that again, everybody is on the table when it comes to being a suspect. Said that everyone is a suspect in this case, meaning her parents, people who were close to her at church, anybody in the family, such as her grandmother, maybe even implying to other members of the family and neighbors. But there are several people involved in Summer's life, and now this case that you should know about. The Wells are Seventh-day Adventist, and they attended a church in Kingsport. Outside of her family, Summer is best known by church members, her Sunday school teacher, Robin Lane, and family friend, David Dotson.
Lane said she arrived at the Beach Creek area around 9 p.m. on June 15th, the night Summer was reported missing.
I was ready. I was like, let's do this.
Okay, in all fairness, I guess I missed this part. I didn't watch this part where they recycled, but let's carry on.
We get the flashlights out. Let's get some snacks in our bags. It's going to be an all-nighter, And they wouldn't let us.
That still kills me. So giggle-worthy, man. Fanny pack and granola bar. What the fuck? Whatever, granola lady.
They wouldn't let us even go up there.
The night Summer was reported missing.
I was ready. I was like, let's do this. Let's get the flashlights out. Let's get some snacks in our bags. It's going to be an all-nighter, And they wouldn't let us. They wouldn't let us even go up there.
Lane says police wouldn't allow them to assist in the search. Dotson says he has a nightly ritual praying for Summer's return.
I set out at night as the sun sets and I play a song for Summer.
Well, damn, I guess we both had the same thought about the giggles. Alright then. So, anyway, my thing was this because I hadn't watched the Giggles Brigade there. But
there's so much interest in this case. As soon as
but I'm not the only one that finds that shit fucking weird. Anyway, carrying on.
We said we would be revisiting it, and it is one of the first missing cases that we covered. The emails started pouring in. People care about this case now, 2 years later, just as much as they did when Summer first went missing. I have a lot of questions from viewers, and I'm going to try to get to some of them. Some may be difficult to answer, but you're closer to the case than most. I want to begin with a question from Betty in Florida, and she says, does law enforcement have any person of interest or suspects in the case, or have they throughout the investigation any evidence discovered that supports the theory that Summer had been abducted? Can you shed any light on that question from Betty?
So since the very beginning, law enforcement said that everyone is a suspect in this case, meaning her parents, people who were close to her at church, anybody in the family, such as her grandmother, maybe even implying to other members of the family and neighbors. So again, law enforcement has not ruled anyone out 2 years later. However, nobody has been charged. So I think that that's important to kind of say both of those things, that again, everybody is on the table when it comes to being a suspect. Said that everyone is a suspect in this case, meaning her parents, people who were close to her at church, anybody in the family, such as her grandmother, maybe even implying to other members of the family and neighbors. But there are several people involved in Summer's life, and now this.
Okay. Alright, so it looks like I'm not the only one that still finds the giggles a little strange. I found it strange that the whole fanny pack bullshit was being brought up. Not one anyway. In real life. In person. And everybody inside that road being like, who the fuck are the weird people being crazy down there? Right? Including Monster. It's like, who the fuck are the freak shows down there? It's like, I done about cussed the one being crazy asking questions. Not normal questions. You know, shit. So, whatever. Anyway. Weirdos. So anyway, you know, the reason the brick wall piece was kind of stood out to me. Once I found it, and I was like, what the fuck? It says like 400, 800 views on it. Probably. And it, you know, okay, why is this so like there's, yeah, why is nobody sharing this? And then again, I found this piece last night, and here's this from the 2-year mark this year, you know, in June, that I found, and I'm like, what the hell? Okay, so now I'm gonna do that mark. Also featured, you know, circling around it was all kinds of shit. Had the tragedy pimps playing their bullshit again before heading into town. You had Dawn doing interviews. I think this year's are the ones where he's asked straight up, maybe. That doesn't matter. You have the arrest of Fred and all these things, you know, whatever. Dawn doing smirk, blah blah, type shit. So, oh, and then in between all that, you have, oh, people out of state and being brought back into state, all this shit, right? And, the brick wall piece there. There are things I've always found kind of interesting about it. Um, we all know by the point the brick wall piece was made, Dodson was supposedly way, 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 way long gone, right? Basically, after he did, like, essentially for the first few weeks, his spokesman job, and then seemingly got fired or something. He was dropping too much truth or something. Hell, I don't know. Unmasked, a few other places, a few interviews where he was, talking about the same thing the rest of us were. They talked to C&D, but it was like, which I wouldn't spoke publicly, but it was like he knew the same things the rest of us knew from Candace and Dawn and otherwise, like he'd been told it took many times to pass the lie detectors and deception on this, and he said so, and he said other things that all of us, at least, community knowledge of and knew to be, and then all of a sudden he poofed, just vanished, right? Which, I mean, it ain't really a poof or vanishing. I mean, he met another girl. He changed whole religions, met another girl, converted, went on about. I you have to wonder, when the guy realized some shit was funky and got the hell away from it, or somebody fired him as a spokesman because he was letting too much that matched up with what everybody else knew, knows, or was told by C&D, etc. I don't know. And wasn't supposed to be hell. Maybe he got some vid chats too. Some change of shit and all that. Fuck, who knows, right? Either way, he was long gone by the time his face was put up on that brick wall. So I was kind of wondering why Ansley put him up on the wall. I think a great many did. Because he truly was like long gone. Right? Hell, by that point, Dawn had already made him look sus to the behavior panel and Dr. Fit, whatever, right? Whatever. Alright, I guess so. We'll put up Dawson's face on the wall, or Rose's, who's supposedly not connected in a caseway to Summers. Okay. An aunt that Summer never met. And they don't choose just a photo of her, they choose her missing poster. That's really one of the first things to go on the wall. Directionality of Ansley's hands. I'm not sure if that was just angles and accidental brain dots. Any of those, so I mostly ignore it. Still, sometimes makes you wonder. Very curious. But anyway, you look at, I guess, this piece of Ansley on News Nation at the 2-year mark, a couple months back. It just gets weird. So 5 months ago, and the thing is, these are reporters that stay in contact with things and such. So like 5 months ago, in a certain order again, she lists parents, is listening to something outside, sorry. So, it's
first missing cases that we covered, the emails started pouring in. People care about this case now, 2 years later, just as much as they did when Summer first went missing. I have a lot of questions from viewers, and I'm going to try to get to some of them. Some may be difficult to answer, but you're closer to the case than most. I want to begin with a question from Betty in Florida, and she says, does law enforcement have any person of interest or suspects in the case, or have they throughout the investigation any evidence discovered that supports the theory that Summer had been abducted? Can you shed any light on that question from Betty?
So since the very beginning, law enforcement said that everyone is a suspect in this case, meaning her parents, people who were close to her at church,
and then list the parents, as in Candace and Dawn. And for the first time ever, they say suspects include those at the church. At least the first time, like, seriously. This is pretty fucking wild. Right?
Anybody in the family, such as her grandmother.
And then anybody in the family, such as her grandmother, or
maybe even implying to other members of the family and neighbors.
Or maybe even implying, to other members of the family. There's so much to just go through there, right? And then, of course,
neighbors. So again, law enforcement has not ruled anyone
throughout the investigation any evidence discovered that supports the theory that Summer had been abducted. Can you shed any light on that question from Betty?
So since the very beginning, law enforcement said that everyone is a suspect in this case, meaning her parents, people who were close to her.
Parents, people who were close to her at the church.
Anybody in the family, such as her grandmother.
Anybody in the family, such as a grandmother. And
maybe even implying to other members of the family and neighbors.
Other members of the family and neighbors. And they don't say just Candace. They say her parents. As in Dawn and Candace. But Dawn has 7 alibis. And Candace has none. She's going. Right? Got the Starlink. Don't fuck up my door. Whatever, right? I don't fucking know. happens to me. And then those close to her at church. Right? She said close to her, surrounding her.
Anybody in the family, such as a grandmother, maybe even implying. So since the very beginning, law enforcement said that everyone is a suspect in this case, meaning her parents, people who were close to her at church, anybody in the family, such as a grandmother, maybe. So since the very beginning, law enforcement said that everyone is a suspect in this case, meaning her parents, people who were.
Parents. Both. 5 months. Weird.
Close to her at church, anybody in the family.
People close to her at church. Close. Not people familiar with her at church. Not church members. Not the church its fucking self. People close to her at church. What the flying fuck? No one was the first time I ever heard either of those two ever mention anybody from church. Well, that one, was, I mean, like, they kept coming in with shit, you know, it's aired during certain times, months, whatever, but, basically laughing at whatever fucking church they were taking for a ride again, but I didn't know which one, and then, but they never mentioned him by name. And then, literally the first time we ever seen or heard of Robin or Dodson was the night summer vanished and they showed up making a scene or asses of themselves around the curve where I couldn't see them, but I know Monster mentioned their strange ass paving was fuck ever known this, yeah, right? And questions, and like he got fed up with him. He was like, I just, you know, told him sort of, he's like, who the fuck are these freak shows down here? And it, you know, that kind of told me something. But it wasn't just him, it was other neighbors and people were like, what the fuck who are those folks down there, right? And then later on, we're all standing there at late at night and then cars go up, Monster says a certain thing, and I'm like, that's fucking strange, you know, all these things, but, yeah, um, you know, until after summer vanished. Never heard their fucking names before. Never seen them before. Nah. At least not Robin. Dots.
Family, such as a grandmother, maybe even implying to other members of the family.
And she says that
People who were close to her at church, anybody in the family, such as a grandmother.
Anybody in the family, such as her grandmother.
Maybe even implying to other members of the family and neighbors.
Maybe even implying to other members of the family. Now, I don't know if I mean, that's a little weird for me, right? Because all their family was elsewhere in other states. So is that Ansley trying to... Yeah, I'm just not going to put that into the universe. I'm just not. But, or is that implying, like, you know what? I guess whichever fucking day, I mean, it could go a million ways, but other members of their family besides Grandis. Okay.
neighbors. So again,
and of course neighbors. It's like whatever with that one. You know what I mean? For me, all I'm gonna say is I've never really given a shit. If we're in that pool, I don't give a fuck. Even though Pruitt has said not a suspect. Even though we've been told to our faces we're not a suspect. A long time before you all ever heard the audio of Pruitt saying it. He and Feds have told us that a long time back. So a lot of y'all have heard us. And either way, I don't care. Because they can lie, they can do whatever the fuck too. Either way, for me, I just know the truth. And the truth is we had not a jack shit damn thing to do with some revenge. And I know that I and my children can all sit down on any machine or test or interview and be confident, of course. So, and pass with flying colors. You know, whatever. Either way, point is, I've never really cared where we stand. I don't care if the public wants to call me sus all fucking day long. I found it funny though that Kurt got so fed up with BK, he was like, "She's not a suspect." But and then the fuckface tragedy bits with it mostly, because they're like suspect, 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 and then Pruitt's like, "Not a suspect." Fuck. And then they kept walking back to PI, so whatever. But as far as whatever we fit in, or what tools are used, or whatever, I don't care. I do not care as long as Summer's found and the truth found and justice meted out. That's it. So, do whatever. So I don't know what neighbors means. I don't know who that implies. I don't know what all that pool is, right? Like when they say neighbors, how far down, how far up, which way is cross. I don't know. But, for me, there are, and then, like, do you include neighbors in there who, like, buy property but don't actually, like, live on it? Never quite get the chance, though they now have land there. Are those neighbors? I don't know. Anyway, because, like, on a lot of maps and things, it looks like there's a whole lot of people that actually live in there, but no, it's just owners. And nothing actually on pieces and that type of thing. But anyway, right, Martha. So, for me though, there'd be about 4. There'd be about 4 solid cans. Yeah. And, well, okay, if you took out some of there'd be 3 solid cans. And then there would be 3 more within a certain vicinity. Now, all for varying reasons, different puzzles and fires. The rest, nope. No way in hell. No way in absolute hell. I can mark most off, but not even if hell froze over. And I also know the whereabouts of some that day that were not even in there, weren't present. Definitely did not have the health to do anything. Others, for other reasons, they're just completely out the window, right? And that is most of the rest ends up in him. Right? And those very close to it. Anyway, so like, right? Anyway, problem is, like, 3 of those 3 could actually all be fucking off together. It's been a real problem for me in a certain puzzle from the beginning. Guess you could say 4 camps. There's only 3 in there, and then 4 out. Anyway, point is, whatever. This is 5 months ago. Just a little over. Right. Local investigative journalists keep their ear to the ground. I mean, tools are tools and all, but I mean, man, if anybody's cleared, including C&D, I don't think they would have included. And everybody wants to say Candace alone. But Ansley and most media from the beginning have always said the parents. And they do include Grandis sometimes, but that was pretty blatant. 5 months ago, she says, including the parents. Well, why still would the parents be considered suspects? Polygraphs are as stated by them, And Dawn's got all the alibis. Why is Grandis on there as well? And then why is that followed by those close to Summer at church? Not those who attend the church with Summer. Not the damn church itself. Not those familiar with Summer from church, but those close to her from church. What the shit fuck? Had the moment, just like I had the moment with the brick wall piece. With the why in the hell why is Dodson's face up there? He'd been poofed for months. Why the directionality of hands? I swear I hope that's just brain up. I don't think it is, though. I mean, it might be. Don't get me wrong, but anyway. Yeah.
Enforcement has not ruled anyone out 2 years later. However, nobody has been charged. So I think that that's important to kind of say both of those things, that, again, everybody is on the table when it comes to being a suspect. Said that everyone is a
case, or have they, throughout the investigation, any evidence discovered that supports the theory that Summer had been abducted? Can you shed any light on that question from Betty?
So since the very beginning, law enforcement said that.
And notice she never touches on evidence or the abduction.
Everyone is a suspect in this case, meaning her parents, people who were close to her at church, anybody in the family, such as her grandmother, maybe even implying to other members of the family and neighbors. So again, law enforcement has not ruled anyone out 2 years later. However, nobody has been charged. So I think that that's important to kind of say both of those things, that.
No, I don't even know why it's important to say, because I think we all know nobody's been charged, right? Unfortunately. But hell, that's oh look. It's one of the trolls. I suppose you're a fan of Upchurch. Right? Anyway. You notice when they always come in. I noticed that. Let's see. Oh, ain't that cute? Why in the hell do I recognize that wall? Maybe it's the shitty. I don't. Whatever. Anyway, I have better shit to do tonight. And deal with douche nozzles. And a bunch of fucking stupid. If you'll just see your fucking own way out to be great. Go find something better to do. Anyway. Uh. I don't care who they're investigating, honestly. If it's everybody. But, do tell what two murders. And which creator did you hear it from? Jesus, man, there's always like a 2x2 Noah's Ark thing. On Ziggy's channel tonight by Fred. So you're saying Fred said that himself? Fred said it himself. Well, that's Fred for you. I don't talk about anything. True crime. You're backing on this one. Anybody got a timestamp? Shit, Fred's Fred too. Hard to tell about Fred. Oh, Cotton and Summer? Yeah, but well, no, the polygraph, they said he passed it, but that's not really what it stated. Um, yeah, and his went live once. She had just gotten off. It was a free call. It was the 1 minute free calls from the jail. Oh, damn. Maybe Fred's hoping she'll put some damn phone money on that account again. Only time will tell if Ziggy does. Freaking weird and wacky and fuck, I don't know. And I mean, if he's down to the 1 minute free call, and why is he still in jail? I thought he got moved to the fucking. I've not checked in with the mayors, the true ones of the creek lately, but I thought his ass got moved to rehab. Did he not? No, she's working on it, Christine. I bet she is. Anybody got a timestamp for this shit though? It's weird. Generally in there they do not bring out all things that are revoked. Unless he's been put somewhere. Yeah, I ain't speculate on it. Fred's still Fred. Let's go take a walk. I hate walking over there. Y'all know I hate bones. I hate walking over there. And I don't like advertising for it either. Y'all know I don't. Let's go see what Trash Mouth is getting up to, and Fred just needs money on the book. Oh my God. What's so special about it? Wait. That was already titled that. Hold on.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
Right, Jannar? In drug abuse. Yes, I've had training on drug abuse. I have a degree in that stuff. I have a degree. Unlike you, I've worked around drug abuse.
Oh, shut the fuck up, baby.
Around drug abuse.
Why is Daisy? We don't. Fuck Daisy.
whatever. Just no, that's not a normal thing. You're talking about maybe. Hey.
Yeah.
It says we don't have any. Is there no money on it?
No.
Is that what? Right, Lake Superior. Whoa. I don't care what a person who says that. Someone came into our chat erratically. She meant erratic. There is no way that woman has a college degree. I know. That was, she was talking about, she said somebody named Brittany. And I thought.
So I just heard Fred's voice. Give it a second. I had to go back a minute.
That was my mod, Brittany. Who the heck's calling me from Florida? Hold on. Hello? Hold on. It's Fred. It's Fred. It's Fred. Call. This call is subject to college degree. I know. That was, she was talking about, she said somebody named Brittany. And I thought it was my mod, Brittany. Who the heck's calling me from Florida? Hold on. Hello? Hold on. It's Fred. It's Fred. It's Fred. Call. This call is subject to monitoring and recording. If you are an attorney or designated legal counsel, contact inmatesales.com at 702-931-3938 to have your number set to do not record. Please select from the following options if you consent to this call being recorded. If you wish to accept this call as a collect call, dial 1. Check this call, dial. We are sorry, but your telephone number cannot receive collect calls from this facility without prior arrangements with the telephone service provider. A free call will be provided at the end of this message. Please contact customer service at 866-797-5578 or dial 1 now to be connected to an operator. To repeat this information, press 0. Your free call will now be connected. Hey. Fred. Hey.
Yeah.
It says we don't have any. Is there no money on it?
No.
Is that why?
No, I ain't had no money on my phone.
Oh, is that what it's? Why it says it's a free call? It's gonna cut us out probably then.
Imagine wasting 30 seconds of a minute free call being a dumb bitch. State the obvious there, Bones.
Said my number.
I get a free call.
Oh, okay. So there's a YouTuber named a YouTuber that's wanting to schedule a visit with you. Can you get in? Can you get visits in person now?
I think not in person, but I think.
Not in person.
It's just a video.
Video. But they can come to the jail, right?
Yeah, he can come to the jail, but it's still video.
Right. Because he's a local. It'd be free at the jail, right?
Yeah, it's free at the jail.
Okay. And real quick before we get cut off, what's going on? Anything you need me to tell anybody?
I just think Lord to get Lord to send some money to you so you can move them accounts. They got all my stuff locked down. Said I was under investigation over 2 murders.
What? You're under investigation under 2 murders?
That's what they're trying to say.
What the fuck?
I don't know what they're even talking about.
Oh my God.
That's just them fucking. That's just them fucking with you.
Wow.
They took all my shirts, everybody that texts my name on the shirt, for anything they take it. It's been crazy.
Wow.
So you need money.
Your free call is now over. Please remember that your telephone number
Oh
cannot
my
receive select
fucking
calls
God,
from
guys.
this facility without prior arrangements with the telephone service provider. Please.
Yeah, it's free.
Okay. And real quick before we get cut off, what's going on? Anything you need me to say? Tell anybody?
I just think Laura to send some money to you so you can move it to them accounts. They got all my stuff locked down, said I was under investigation over 2 murders.
What? You're under investigation under 2 murders?
That's what they're trying to say.
What the
I
fuck?
don't know what they're even talking about.
Oh my
That's
God.
just them fucking. That's just them fucking with me.
Wow.
They took all my shirts. Everybody that texts my name on the shirt, for anything they take it. It's been crazy.
Wow. So you need money.
Your free call is now over. Please remember that your telephone number
Oh
cannot.
my.
Okay, he didn't say Cotton and Summer. He just says he's under investigation for 2 murders. It's Fred, bro. That tone change there, though. Huh. Just another day. So, yeah, he did not say Cotton and Summer. He just said he was under investigation for 2 murders. Everything's been taken from him. The chirps, any of them coming in, I guess, that has his name in them are being confiscated as well. Something about lawyers and money coming in from some, I don't know, couldn't make sense that for dumb bitch. Going, oh, God, can somebody visit you in person? Hey, it might be important the reason Jackass called from jail with a 1-minute call. I don't know. Or it might just be time to tragedy pimp because it is a fucking season. Get her views up, you know, and get Fred some money on Bucks Hill. I don't know. Don't give a shit. Symbiotic. Horse shittery. Anyway. But yeah, if somebody ain't called you and they ain't gonna, whatever, in a hot minute, they're like, well, couldn't somebody visit you in person and all that? Might be your son there, detective. Yeah, true mud pie. Mud pie has a point. He didn't say 1 murder and 1 missing person. He didn't say Cotton and, well, I don't know, look, Fred would probably put Summer in a category of murdered because he's always been in the belief that she was, and that she was murdered by Candace and Dawn. He's been that way since day 1. Just like Monster, just like most of the others, a lot of them think of her as already deceased, and Candace and Dawn very responsible, and somehow they murdered her. Not that it was accidental, but they murdered her, or took off with her, some type of shit. Okay, so Fred actually probably would say. And then again, you can't say detectives or something if it was Summer. that they're investigating, they wouldn't have said more to him while questioning him about Summer. Gave him the impression, or would have led him to knowledge, maybe the arrest on hold. But either way, he didn't say Summer and Cotton. So, yeah. He had a tone change there in the middle of the double fuckums, and they're just fucking with him. He had a tone change, was interesting. Now, if it's about Summer and it actually holds or bears up to be true, then I will give a shit. If not, I don't give a shit. But mm, something really fucking wonky. Something really fucking wonky. And not even about tonight or whatever the hell Bones and Fred are doing over now. I don't give three shits unless it absolutely has to do with Summer and it's not bullshit. In which case, if he, I just, mm. And then if Summer is indeed one of those, and that's true, and any part of that's anything, then I'd hope they would shut everything down to where nothing could be given to Ziggy in trade for book money. So, just where I'm at. You feel me? No, I'm just gonna shut my mouth there. Yep, I'll shut my fucking mouth right there. I don't want to, but I'm going to. I've known Fred longer than sort of known Monster, mate, but Fred's Fred. Over the years he changes and sobriety helps, it doesn't, but Fred's Fred. And you really do have to be able to listen or speak to Fred or hear Fred in different times, different ages. When we were all younger, it's a lot easier to decipher Fred. For sure, he and all the other males on that side. Because there's a big difference between male and female side that come down that hall. And, yeah, we've been through that too. And certain ages, certain shit really kicks in, and oh boy. And it really is such for all the males of the males. It's what it is. Anyway, you know, Fred scares a lot of people. Fred's never scared me because Fred's one of those. I know what Fred's capable of. You know what I mean? And it's different. Sometimes standing in front of motherfuckers that you know what they're fully capable of, right? Versus motherfuckers who want to wear masks. You know, it's like there's a difference standing in front of Fred than there is standing in front of Monster. Or those like Don, or those like Benny, or the others, right? Which Benny doesn't scare me in the least either, but there's a difference. And I've stood right in front of monsters far bigger than any of them. But they weren't wearing masks, and therefore they don't bother. Once you know what certain monsters and certain people are fully capable of, right, it's the ones that hide. I don't like. And I will rip and claw and shred. I don't like it. No. And, Fred just Fred, man. Anyway. I'm getting rid of this. It's not the fear of the unknown. Because I clearly knew what Monster was capable of for 3 decades, but still don't like the shit. I don't like mask wearers, motherfucking monsters. And I know what Monster is capable of. I think he's fully capable of the public pew shit. He's fully capable of a whole lot of shit, and he is absolutely capable of murder and other things. And he is a child abuser, a woman abuser, an animal abuser. He's all kinds of things. I was like Donna as well. Just don't like it when they wear masks. I'd rather have honest monsters in front of me. You know what I mean? And other than my monster, well, now somebody else's problem monster, but our monster, not many, if any, ever, anywhere. There's no fear. It's more of they piqued my curiosity and they pissed me whole the fuck off. Also, part of my problem with these fucking tragedy pieces of shit over here. All monsters to one degree or other. It's also why I have a real big issue with 40 owls in a raincoat and wannabe don't fuck with cats dumb bitches around the world, cold sex, and that type of shit. Like monsters without masks and authentic people. You know what I mean? I roll. Anyway, I'll tell you what I don't like. You coming in and interrupting where I was and trying to get me off track in Southern Driveway with some fuck shit about Monster that was entirely off fucking subject on purpose and coming into by 2 tonight. That's what I don't like. So for that reason. All right, carrying on. So I'm gonna go back to where I was because I don't give a fuck about Fred. Unless it's Summer he's been investigated for, in which case, then I don't give a shit. Anyway, so then I'm still gonna have many questions, just like I do now. So there's that. But anyway, you know, I think my cat's over here knocking shit off.
Whereabouts. But there are several people involved in Summer's life and now this case that you should know about.
Cases that we covered, the emails started pouring in. People care about this case now, 2 years later, just as much as they did when Summer first went missing. I have a lot of questions from viewers, and I'm going to try to get to some of them. Some may be difficult to answer, but you were closer to the case than most. I want to begin with a question from Betty in Florida, and she says, does law enforcement have any person of interest or suspects in the case, or have they, throughout the investigation, any evidence discovered that supports the theory that Summer had been abducted? Can you shed any light on that question from Betty?
So since the very beginning, law enforcement said that everyone is a suspect in this case, meaning her parents, people who were close to her at church, anybody in the family, such as her grandmother, maybe even implying to other members of the family and neighbors. So again, law enforcement has not ruled anyone out 2 years later. However, nobody has been charged. So I think that that's important to kind of say both of those things, that again, everybody is on the table when it comes to being a suspect, said that everyone is.
They haven't ruled him even after all those now fancied the fuck up lied about lie detector tests, right? Starlinks and whatever else. It's super weird. And that they say parents separately from the grandma and other family members. Nah. Could just be Ansley's way of speaking, though, but I find it weird. But fuck, sometimes our brains want to read shit into stuff that's not shit, right? Hell, could all just be red herrings, you never know.
Theory that Summer had been abducted. Can you shed any light on that question from Betty?
So since the very beginning, law enforcement said that everyone is a suspect in this case, meaning her parents, people who were close to her at church, anybody in the family, such as her grandmother, maybe.
But I find it weird. That first time ever, I say out loud, people at the church are suspects. And not just any people. not just those familiar with or in or around the church, or who may have, it's not stated strangers or people who have maybe come into contact with her around the church. Nope. It says suspects include those who are close to her. Well, why is it? Wait, what? Why is it not just a broad thing? It means it's been singled down to look at certain or specific people at church. At least that's the way I take what she says. Right? It's not stated in a broad sense. It's not. It's not people who may have come into contact with Summer from church. Suspects include those who are close to her at church. Not familiar with, not new, but those close to her at church. Mud Pie, that one where she was skipping through whatever the fuck. And I'm pretty sure Pennington made that one, whatever, AF, or helped with that. Like, she doesn't much around all those, but I don't know. Want the damn cows and skipping stones or numbered something. It freaked me out about like Pumpkin Patch Boys videos did. And I don't know, look, I try to ignore those two entirely. Okay? I really just do. They both have vibes for me. I think a whole lot of what both do, I just, but try to give her credit where credit's due. But that other one over there, full on Fruit Loop. Definitely targeting motherfuckers around everything. I just, like whatever. Like, dear Timmy boy, that's called witness fucking intimidation, you douchebag. But anyway, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, I don't know. I'd probably just find something so insincere about granola. Something very fake. Always have. And I'm sorry, but people in my book who laugh and touch Chris McDonald's arm in a weird behavioral manner and then giggle about how, when certain people come into churches and, they look a certain way, you just sit and they giggle about it, the whatever the fuck it is story and about. I'm like, did I just hear that out of a Christian's mouth? Well, how judge? And I just know instinctively that's not my type of people. Right? And then when I can see the cringe factor and the annoyance on their face at Summer and everybody else must play it off like they don't see those very things. But I see them in every video played. But then after Summer vanishes, it's a whole different thing. I don't know what the entire shit fuck. And then even there's pieces of there, and they're hidden like a motherfucker. Of even giggles there, admitting to her aggravation and whatever. But she just hopes one day God forgives her for it or whatever. See, even she knows. But then do remember that the day Summer vanished for some weird reason. She didn't like Candace enough to be not ignoring her calls. Dodson had to call her, and then after she knew Summer's vanished. Yeah, whatever. Then it was, oh, okay, I'll answer the phone and I'll pack my granola bars. I'll answer the phone. And then from behavior in that room in real time, I, like I said, more authentic things without masks. I think it's also why cul-de-sac people get on my nerves. Water cooler type people and cubicle type people. Spend their whole goddamn lives wearing masks, one variety or another.
From where she went missing that connects Beach Creek to anywhere. So how does a child just disappear from an area like this? Well, most think not by accident.
There is so much interest in this case. As soon as we said we would be revisiting it, and it is one of the first missing cases that we covered, the emails started pouring in. People care about this case now, 2 years later, just as much as they did when Summer first went missing. I have a lot of questions from viewers, and I'm going to try to get to some of them. Some may be difficult to answer, but you were closer to the case than most. I want to begin with a question from Betty in Florida, and she says, does law enforcement have any person of interest or suspects in the case, or have they throughout the investigation any evidence discovered that supports the theory that Summer had been abducted? Can you shed any light on that question from Betty?
So since the very beginning, law enforcement said that everyone is a suspect in this case, meaning her parents, people who were close to her at church, anybody in the family, such as her grandmother, maybe even implying to other members of the family and neighbors. So again, law enforcement has not ruled anyone out 2 years later. However, nobody has been charged. So I think that that's important to kind of say both of those.
Which is unfortunate. But you know what's weird for me? It's holding all these little bits, right? And then on top of all that, I wait like I've been told to do, and I hope, but I also hunt and I dig and I listen. Try to find it, try to shake loose, try to do anything. And I know that there's something just very, very wrong here. There's known that since June 15th. But as time's passed, um, so much has occurred, and wish every day that, nothing had been what it was, June. There's not a day that goes by. That I wish any other surgeon had just found her or something. She had really just wandered off just a little bit, or she was just a little hurt somewhere, or she was just hiding from whatever. I mean, anything. Other than just vanished. Anything. I mean, well, I won't say anything, but can't describe how it felt not being able to find her that day, not coming across her. Just simply heard a twisted ankle, no sign of her. I know I and the other neighbors looking at each other in the face. Just didn't know what to say to one another. I think we both sort of felt the same way, and then all collectively, it wasn't right. There was nothing right about June 15th. And there's not been anything right since. And that continues. My first thoughts that day, you have a few successive thoughts. But all the first ones were like, she's just run off from Guinness. Maybe she's a little mad. She's up there somewhere. It's okay. Yeah. And then you think, after certain moments, right, you hear Candace scream at the boys, "What did you do? What did you do?" Nothing, Mom. Nothing, Mom. You think, oh shit, what's happening? Then shit kicks in. Like full tilt, not just cursory. Well, she'll holler back in a minute. It'll be okay. She's, you know. And then you think, man, something really wrong with, they've been out and left her behind, maybe. Is she hurt somewhere? You think, well, the scream I heard earlier is that, has she been out here somewhere hurt and it's been that long in between? Like, oh my God, think things like that, right? In very quick succession. But you don't think anything really nefarious is like happened, like, till you start experiencing the super weird fucking side of June 15th. And then your thoughts go, wait the fuck, that tone wasn't right, this wasn't right, and it all happens so quick, but still, you think, nah, you gotta be wrong, man, you gotta be wrong. Now you think that for weeks. I guess maybe you're staying too up close and personal or anything. No. And it takes a while for things to fall as they should or whatever, to where you can gain perspective, I suppose, and put certain things together. And it's just freaking chaos everywhere, right? But once chaos sort of, but hell, honestly, the chaos. It was extreme even then, and then coming out here into the extreme chaotic tragedy nature of this shit and everything else, and not realizing enough time. I gotta tell you, um, if it weren't for this place, for the insurers, and I'm talking long before our double-edged sword asses were present or public, and if it wasn't for symbiotic parasitic relationships within hours to this place, to that road and such, I don't think it'd been this long. I know the terror this goddamn place and all these fuck sticks in the world play in a great many lives inside that community. In Summer's case, law enforcement has been fucking devastating. And some of us chose to speak and not to take on down. That too is a double-edged sword part of it, but still. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. It's just strange. All of it. Everything. I wonder why it is that, yeah, it's like, even this far out, right? Pieces, I just, pieces and things that show up. Proof, evidence, whispers, small keys, maybe large ones, which is a good thing. That's what needs to happen, but I think all of it would have happened a lot sooner. Had it not been for those like Sharon, Benny, and Squall and Scott, so on, and Tiffany Marie and AB and Jill, you know, the builders somewhere else. I think a great many people would have been in less chaos and able to think and able to find and able to get things to be heard, seen, keys dropped, things found, etc. If it hadn't been for these assholes here and the extent in which they were screwing with, tampering with, hunting, fucking with, and targeting those in Summer's case in the ways they were, and still are. And don't forget to put Penny and Chase and Cam and Allie and the first in there. Fuckers. Twisters, the Lindas, etc., etc. You know, from June 15th forward, I've often thought there was something possibly planned, something possibly rotten in Denmark around certain things, you know. Some sort of something that was real fucking awesome. And as the days went by and the months, I mean, it's kind of borne out that way, right? And if it also, though, thing about this place is, it may not, in ways, have been as visible in other setup factor realms. Because I think there are a couple of the setup-y type things or planned things that are circling one another and mingling in a way that are trying to hide each one of the controlled or planned things. I don't think the targeting and the fucking with and tampering with those or attempts to get nearest those near Summer's case or life or the hunting of any of us is, at first it was just probably regular tragedy pimp shit, but then at a certain point within a very brief period, I think it became a very concerted effort, a purposeful one, symbiotic type of thing there. But I'll tell you, I recently came upon proof, evidence. Probably would have found a whole lot sooner had it not been for these fuck sticks over here on YouTube. Yeah, like always, I turn everything in some way or another. But it's at least like physical, and it's definitely tangible proof and evidence that some aspect of this was planned and controlled. And damn, if somebody wasn't more psychic than 9 Juanitas and 400 Seraphinas having a train on one another. I'll tell you what, I also recently found other witnesses that matter and are absolutely terrified. All I can do is keep asking. That's all I can do. But I do know that there are still people out here who hold keys. Ones that make a whole lot a day. And I know that proof and evidence in tangible ways is held by many that maybe might have been able to find it a whole lot quicker and shut this entire shit show down had it not been for this entire shit show. And purposeful chaos making machine. Tampering machine. Bazillions of dollars in scams and cons making fucking machine all symbiotic and shit. Yep. I don't know. And it would not be the first or even the fucking 40th time I've throughout all this. Keep trying to tell myself sometimes they look the hardest or whatever, you know, miss things because you're looking so hard, right? But you still wear weights better because you're like, how the fuck? When I was already looking or I was digging for her, I was, you know, why didn't XYZ fall until? And you wear weights about it, right? Your soul feels heavy about it. And you wonder how in the hell you missed shit. While you're digging and clawing so hard for it. Until just the right day, right time, whatever the fuck it is, and then it just falls. Or it just comes, or it just gets whispered, or there's accidental things that happen that serendipitously lead to. But you always wonder at this point how fucking long, and every day you can tell time moves. Everything's stasis, but it feels like a million years at the same time. And every day's been too damn long anyway. June 15th should have never been anything more than an average Tuesday. I wish every day said, wish it never happened, right? Wish Monday just skipped into fucking Wednesday and there'd been no Tuesday. Yeah. Wish 609 plus hadn't turned to 615, 620, 625, 7. And I wish that Summer just been in there somewhere hiding. Twisted ankle at most, something like that. Anything. But just vanished into thin air. Thing is, she didn't just vanish into thin air. She didn't. Children just do not vanish into thin air. Nobody just vanishes into thin air. And little ones just don't walk off into, well, at least those woods, There's no way. Never to be seen or found. Just, no. No, 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 no. No, no. Nobody's ever gonna get me to believe that. And if she just wandered off into the woods, then why are there even suspects or persons of interest? Make that make sense. Bueller. Bueller. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's just no way. No way Summer walked off into those woods and wasn't found. Not seen since, not found. There's just no fucking way. And you don't have suspects or POIs or investigating the circumstances leading up to, quote unquote, if a child just walks off into the woods. And federal, state, and local law enforcement, and all the searches you could ever dream of, and card teams and everything else, and profiles can't find her. And call me crazy all you want, but you don't bring in that many agencies or profilers. Card team if you think she's wandered off into the woods. What are you gonna do? Profile the trees? Rapid like response fucking dirt? Yeah, fucking break. Nope. She just didn't walk off. You know what I find weird? I don't even know why. I found a lot of things fucking weird on a lot of different days. I always try to figure out if it's brain dot, red flag, tools, herrings, yeah, all the things. But there's a part in WJHL interview where Candace and Dawn, of course. Candace says, I know she wouldn't just walk away from this property or off, and she wouldn't walk off this yard by herself. She uses the term away for one, and that's property. And this first one she uses off this yard. And then her head and her eyes turn towards the driveway. Not the dog trails, which she didn't even know where the fuck those were when she talked to McDonough, but they're all like, is a dog, like, whatever. But her head and her eyes turn towards their driveway. The gravel one. When she says that Summer wouldn't just walk away from the property, meaning the entire property, what, 11 acres or so, that she nor they clearly searched on June 15th. And then she says off the yard. I guess implying the top of the hill. But she names property first, then the top, as in yard, I guess. But her eyes turn towards and she moves her head and stares, but it's at the driveway, is where she's staring when she says so. I always kind of wondered if that meant she knew Summer didn't walk off because she was taken off or someone left her from the driveway. Just kind of wondered that. Though in the same breath, they're talking about somebody coming and luring her away, right? Somebody snuck up there, somebody whatever. So they're not talking about a vehicle coming up and taking her off or on or however via driveway, but that's what Candace is looking at when she makes the statement, is the actual driveway. The gravel one. I don't know. Great many things are funky. That's the thing I never got. It'd be like somebody lured her away. What the fuck? Implying what? Puppies or candy or something? Come on now. And I don't look. I don't think Summer would have ever been the top for any such thing, right? And she would even get just a little bit off the hill or something. Other neighbors that knew her extremely well, she'd make eye contact and realize she was cut, and she would jet right back up the fucking hill. Okay? Others say differently, but whatever. Thing is, I find those others a little sus as fuck. Quite frankly. I feel like they got their own fucking flavor. something funky. But either way, I just don't see Summer as the type to be, quote, lured either. You get what I'm saying? Like, and when's the last time anybody has ever heard of children being lured? Like, you know what I mean? Last time I think I heard any such thing was on like an Unsolved Mysteries back in like 88 or some shit. Right? It was probably untrue, probably some UFO story. I don't know. Right? It just doesn't sit right with me. Never has, never will either. And I think we're long past the days of like white vans and candy and weird, funky 88 bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see it. Nah, I see someone falling for anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you gonna, I mean, like, there's only so many things, right? What the hell are they gonna do? Like, come up there with like a pack of candy or something, be like, hey, no. And let's do remember that supposedly Candace is only at her mama's camper for 2 minutes, right? Outside or on the steps where they wouldn't have heard someone being like, hey, I have a pack of candy, I have a dog, I have a, I don't know, a Barbie doll. You know what I'm saying? Make that shit make sense. It's gonna take a hell of a lot more than 2 minutes for someone to be like trying to make nice with a complete stranger or whatnot, and it just doesn't make sense, okay? It just doesn't fucking make sense. Look, you know, if they're out of the fucking camper, I can buy it because of the angles that maybe they wouldn't have been able to see certain areas or whatever, but because I've been there, etc. But, you know, there's no way you're not going to hear someone in or around the top of that hill being like, hey, I have candy, a puppy, a Barbie doll, whatever the fuck it is, right? In this 1988 scenario of luring the children. You're going to hear that shit. And if Summer didn't know somebody well enough, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's like an entirely, like, stranger only situation. Like, Summer is not, just, no way, man. No way. No way in hell. And even if think about it, even if it wasn't a stranger, nobody's gonna come up that fucking driveway or the hill to the very top of it, then be outside 2 fucking minutes, and not hear, like, like, you would pick up on voices speaking to me. You know, there's something fucking wrong there, okay? You would pick up on anyone speaking right there in those zones. You know what I mean? Whether Summer was, say, around the swing or basement area, whatever, around the house. If Candace and Grandis were fixing the bracelet, there's no way. And then if Summer knew him, she'd be chatting back. She'd be like, "Hey, mom," or whatever, so and so. You know what I'm saying? And no. And I also know Summer wasn't the type to run right up to vehicles either, even those I'd say that she recognized or um, otherwise. Um, just because I've seen her interactions and all that and been around, I mean, she doesn't run straight up to vehicles either. Like, even like with hours throughout the years, I never once seen her, even though I'm sure she recognized sounds, doesn't like, and then even when she was, it wasn't like a running up to the vehicle type of, she was not a run up to the vehicle type kid either. Because there were parts in there where, Dawn said that she would run down the driveway when she would hear him coming. That way, she could get her candy. He always brought her and shit. And I thought, well, that's awful dangerous. Like, what if, you know, she thought it was Dad coming home? You have to think of everything. She's like, well, what if she thought it was Dad coming home with somebody else and she run down? But no, I just don't see it. And the length of time it would take for her to come down versus Cargo, and I just don't see that either. So I kind of tossed that idea away. Because that's still a very bad habit to teach one's child. To run down a driveway. But I think that was fairy tale shit. Mm, that would depend, I think, upon placement of where Candace and Grandis really were. And where they were would matter to all the sounds and things and cars and all that shit going up and down the damn driveway that day. And screams if they apply, right? Wherever they really were. I think there are a couple major things that have been gotten wrong, though, but I know at least one major thing has been, but unless there was tool application there, which fine, whatever, but I don't think it was. And I just hope words have reached the right ears. Because that one major thing, if wrong, it changes everything about you. But once again, with that, all I can do is hope it hits the right ears. Gets put in a box somewhere so it, all you can do is hope, man. So I can do so. And that's if it's, or if it wasn't offered out as tool shit in the first place. Just whatever the fuck. But I'd, you know, guarantee you, because I've done enough digging on it, but not so much to interfere. Once came across this thing, it's a bit of proof and tangible evidence and shit that somebody was awful psychic where it concerned certain shit, set up shit around something. And hopefully that, with everything else, can only hope. Some days, all the combination of all the little things, all the known things, all everything, heard things, all that, everything, it's overwhelming. Makes you sick to your stomach, burns your soul to ash. Causes wrinkles, aging, and dog years. I can't really recommend, but it's like there's little things every day. It's like you hear that dumb shit from that WJHL interview. Candace, Candace Senior, and they're all like, "Oh, you know, sent the boys down. We were just hoping nobody took them too." Wait the fuck a minute, bro. Fuck a minute. Hell no. I mean, for one, if you already know, apparently, like Candace and Candace Senior did, that somebody took Summer, then what the hell are you sending the boys down that way anyway? And I'm still gonna maintain, I didn't hear the directive for that, and those boys jetted down that hill from the same spot that they said, nothing, mama, I swear. Should have been able to hear a directive given to me. Anyway, carrying on. If you're certain she's been taken, why are you sending them to search him? And then how do you know that somebody's taken for all property searched? And fact and proof and truth and witnesses say that those boys did not get to search all the property and then go back up the hill. Timelines don't add up. None of that adds up. Too many witnesses around. No better connection. On top of that, not making sense. You're already certain somebody has taken her. Then why the fuck are you out yelling anyway? Why the hell ain't you on that? Why are you calling Dawn first? What's Dawn got to do with anything? Huh? Why is everybody's calls in not someone has kidnapped my daughter? Nope, 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 nope. Oh, why is the first things that Candace says to me in the roadway? She didn't say Summer's been kidnapped. She didn't say somebody took some. She said some sort of equivalent of Summer's missing, can't find her, and then some vague bullshit that implied even she did not know where in the fuck Summer was. Now, I can't remember what the fuck kind of bullshit that was, but I immediately knew it for, it's Candace. She doesn't have any fucking clue or something. Want anything close to anything, I'm going to find the boys that I heard just go down the damn hill because they're going to be the ones that probably were watching or had eyes last or fucking any bit of truth, you know. Unfortunately, by the time that I and other neighbors made it around to the boys, who should have been much further than where they were when we came across them, had they actually been searching. Unfortunately, by that time, I think Dawn had already pulled in beside the shed and down towards the creek area where they were on that end, towards Mox. Only the other searchers will note on that little bit. Or actually, my first statements may hold it. I remember Dawn zooming in and out, but that was also one of the things that went out the window. But either way, I know he knew where she sent the boys, or where they were down there. She told him which direction they went. Because you see, after the boys went down the hill, she came down their driveway on the phone with Dawn. And he hauled ass home. First place he makes his way to. Stops sign on there. I'm confused by the red gleaming and almost, it's the gloaming of it, right? It's like the last part of the day and the trees and the shade on the other side of the valley. It's just gleaming red, you know. But either way, me and Monster both had the same, direction in short order, but he would have known where the boys were because she had talked to me directly after them going off of that hill. And I'd hazard a bet that's why Don made a beeline to the shed and down towards the creek. You remember him saying that to Enton too? He could see his boys in the neighbor, all that shit. I bet it was so he could talk to the boys. Start formulating just like he started formulating for me, simply saying, I heard a scream, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm looking and whatever, I was trying to yell at you, and there he pops up on the fucking phone. And then I realized that's who the fuck I heard clearly in the conversation in this weird toned conversation all the way down the driveway. Wasn't a person in real time in that car. It was him on the phone with her the whole time down the driveway. The whole time, and it was clear as fucking day. And he goes, so Shed Time gets silent once she's seen me. Which is weird. I wouldn't carry on having whatever conversation if you're all like, oh my god, our daughter, la la la. Instead, you make somebody aware they're what, witnesses, something, tell them shut up, quiet, they listen in, C&D are pretty notorious for that shit, but it's really thinking a whole ass person was in that vehicle. But I scanned it. Wasn't a whole ass person in that vehicle. Then I realized what it actually was Donald. When he pops up and says, "So you're telling me somebody took my baby girl?" Fuck is up with the blandest fucking white toast shit and voice I've ever heard, you know? Ain't that a hell of a difference from a conversation taking place all the way down the driveway? Which makes one wonder why in the hell I had to grab the phone, leave the driveway, and try to find spots to call law enforcement. Thing is, Candace, Grandis, Dawn all know which spots on that hill get signal. Alright? Fact, no matter what phone and carrier, I never had to leave that hill at all to call 911. You don't even have to have service on the phone to call 911. But there are spots on the hill pick up service just fine for both, obviously, Wi-Fi and 911 related calls. Leaving the hill to find a spot or getting better signal was never any of that shit. Weird. Anyway, there are a lot of things. But hazard bet is what I initially thought was just them thinking in kid time, right? 5-10 minutes. What? Say it was Dawn trying to get to 5-10 minutes to get. What I initially took as them thinking I'd get them in trouble by telling Candace and Dawn maybe that they weren't really searching, they were just squatted down, super interested, or having a conversation between themselves, whatever else they were doing. Yeah, they should have known better. No, it wasn't like that. And, you know, spokesman for the group type thing. I'm just papers off for everybody. But what you initially may attribute to certain things, with time, may change. Yeah, true crime. You remember how he also said at the very beginning that what actually happened was the way he knew Summer hadn't been found was because nobody called him back. I believe that was in the Bobo interview, one of the first in the first few days, or in McDonough's, like text, speech, one, whatever the fuck it was, phone call with Don, right? Interview. But he says the way that he knew Summer hadn't been found was because nobody called him back. Then after people caught wind of that, Don Wovitt to say that, nuh-uh, him and Candace were on the phone the whole time. True crime, that's impossible. As someone who has lived in this area and lived in Beach Creek far longer than Candace and Dawn ever did, and been, have family, all this sort of shit. Look, had all kinds of carriers, cell phone, all kinds of shit. Struggles with Wi-Fi too. I'm telling you, from both areas, in which way he traveled in and which way, it wouldn't matter. There's no way that those two stayed on the phone, even if it was messenger or through cell service. There's no way they stayed on the phone. No way in hell. But Don changed the story on that, much like everything else. It's just like, he initially said that his and the oldest son's relationship, he'd said some foul shit to him after Summer vanished. Their relationship was going to be broken forever, blah, blah, he'd probably never be forgiven, blah, blah, right? Then eventually it got fairy tailed up through a few versions, and it was oldest came to him and was like, Dad, I'm sorry. It's, it's my fault. And it was a bro hugging out. He's like, I know, son. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Right. He fairy tale that shit the fuck up. But at the same time, you see, what I'm seeing in real time is Candace opening the door at the church. The weird shit around the GoFundMe's, the whole Rose thing there, Grandis, all this shit. And Candace is getting out and opening the door on him on purpose and talking about that's one she'd like to beat the shit out of. For no reason. And grinning about it. Fucking look on her. She just opens the door on him. I could already see him back there when I was talking to her in her window. He was not quite himself, wearing away to the world type of thing. Anyway, he was very quiet. And she gets whole up out the vehicle, opens the door, and says, just like she had before in the past, with singled out ones, and goes, this right here is one I like to beat the shit out of. Time I take it one lane. And she's leaving them alone. They're going through all kinds of shit, man. If they're acting up, obviously this shit is, sister's missing Candace. They're gonna be acting up. Alright, that's it. But I'd say all that plays into far more shit. My Dawn was doing or saying something at the time that also means his and the eldest relationship will be forever broken and unforgivable and all this shit. But then he fairy tales up to make it sound like a bro dude dad heartwarming fucking moment. Like he tries to hallmark the fuck out of everything, including it's like that twist of the hair stuff on that WJHL interview and everything else you see from those dipsticks. And the thing is, it would all still be the fucking same. Whether responsible or not. Still be seeing the same shit show. I watched a piece of it, I don't remember who it was by, but they described it perfectly. Like, something about the McCains, right? And how their whole thing was self-preservation over, even though maybe no guilt type thing. Was that Peter Hyatt, maybe? Or it could have been that profile or whatever shit, brown lady. I can't remember the freaking name. Is it Pat Brown, maybe? Still be saying the same shit. It's like Monster when he comes up here and walks the street. Fairy tales of fucking. No, it was a dream I had. Because it sounds better than him screaming shit at a child he knows is already traumatized and all fucked up by their neighbor going missing, and lifetime abuse at his fucking hands as well. Also shit coming online and probably what he's actually told Ellie and Feds and everybody else. But it's not true. It sounds better to say, oh, it was a dream and I just told him about it. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a motherfucking dream. It was him mentally and it was him psychologically and emotionally abusing his child again. That was it. But it sounds better to go, oh, it was a dream, because what he cares? No, he don't. You give a flying fuck. You give a flying fuck about even our own kids, let alone anybody else's. Ain't how this works. He can pretend real well that he gives a shit, especially about other people's. But, nope. I know better. I got recordings and proof and receipts that show better. And witness. Hell, he fucking tormented the shit out of me by giving a shit about Summer. Used that in a way to finalize shit concerning Stall and all the other fuck shit he was doing as he was trying to gnaw his own arm off, but already fucked around and found out and caught up, just like I always told him to be with some gas station whore or some whatever, and I wasn't wrong. That's also part of why I hated it, because once again, Jody shit wasn't wrong. About him, anyway. That one is just a predictable pile of shit. Always was, always will be. Anyway, thing is, I fairy tale shit up like that. They all do that shit. Even if it's not, it's like the only thing Monster would have admitted to, like, you know what I'm saying? Wouldn't have meant shit as far as Summer's case goes. You know what I'm saying? But he then would have had to admit that what he was doing was psychologically and emotionally abusing a child, and that could have gotten him in trouble. So yeah, he's gonna lie about it to law enforcement, feds, and you all here in public. Sure is. Because it sounds better. Of course he's not gonna want Stahl to know what and who he truly is, or her children, or their fathers, or their people, and all that shit. It's just like a great many things Monster said of her. They all do the same thing. Don does it, he does it, they do it anyway. But in Don and Candace's case, the bullshit, that aspect of it, just deliberate for self-preservation purposes, not it, bro. Yes, I don't know. And mud and jello and slinging and doing whatever. It's always going to be. I watched years of that shit from that camp over there. Over dumb shit. Summer Vanishing has been no different. It's just a far larger, bigger, and magnified version of what I already watched them do over the years, time and time again. That's why it's up to Ellie and feds to figure it out in totality. I think our only job here in this community and those around are to help as much as possible to try to get the right people to speak, to try to get those afraid to speak to come forward, to try to find the keys pieces or be able to communicate with one another to where those things do fall so law enforcement can have them so they can solve someone's case. If they're still missing things, but everything can matter and nobody knows what that thing's going to be. And so if community around her and witnesses and other neighbors and whatever, right? Anybody here. Because they're going to be the ones most likely to hold the keys and answers and whatever. But somebody out in the world holds them for sure. But in order not to give up hope and to keep trying for Summer's sake and her brothers. Because fuck everybody else. They deserve answers and justice before anyone. But in order not to give up hope and to help somehow, to try to get little pieces, fall to shake, found, to get other voices that need to speak to come forward. And hopefully is just fucking unfortunate, really. But as this place, the problem is it'll come back full force. And I think people are more terrified of this place than these cretins and these assholes across the world, destroying them, their lives, pulling crimes and going extreme real life on them the way they have. So many of us, even before we were fucking public or none, other than being doxxed and, well, talked about in 24 hours. Stupid ex-mother-in-laws doing dumb shit, such and such, and squalls and sticks and whatever games being played. But cornbread, I don't know, jiffies, fuck fun. So the whole thing is, I think many are terrified of certain people and of this place. And that if they come forward or outed or burned or anything or seen going to or from courts or anything in the future, because the Lord knows when someone's arrested for this and when things start progressing to court proceedings, you know this place will come back full force. Make bazillions more off of Summer and ever fucking anybody else. Man, look what they do in all the other court cases and stuff. Like, you know, the Karen Reed thing and Lie Chick and all that, and make them all goddamn joke. Look at Delphi, they're even fucking with that in ways. Hell, you got fucking defense attorneys that are using this goddamn realm in place. There's ways to hint, wink, nod, and drop shit out and tamper with goddamn jury pools and I mean, evidence. This is fucking. It's ungoddamn believable. And this shit has got to be stopped. Yeah, I mean, look at Piper's fucking crazy ass from over here. Leash holder for our monster, right? Over there trying to get a hold of Anon in Idaho 4. And look how wacko she's acting around that dude. She has a real problem. Look how they're doing the same shit, same players. Cher and all them and Bullhorn all working together, pretending they're not. And over there in Quentin Simon. Yeah. And Benny and Doug. I just and Molly Go Island. All of her fucking bunch of douche nozzles. All of which are still here. MGL's just been booted for a minute. But she's even skirting around shit. Well, I don't know what you mean by the last part. Arranging out of town meeting was what and home. In between home. What do you mean by facing demons and just intimidated? These people aren't afraid of police. They're afraid of others. And then more than a few, I'd say, are terrified of an entire tragedy weasel nest over here of random ass suburban brain rot Karens and hobbyists and wackos, mentally unsound and whatever the hell. Those like Benny and Tiffany, all these long term years spent on fucking, oh, look what they've done in these cases. And then if somebody gets seen or spotted or anything, or outed or known in court proceedings, they'll destroy them too, right? Is what they're afraid of. Their lives, jobs, families, tamper with them. I mean, look, there's definitely been an effort here to tamper with witnesses around Summer's case and to gain access to all of them. And I don't think that's by accident or just regular tragedy binge. A whole lot of that's been directed. And so even if those in and around Summer's case get wind of certain people, this place then going, yeah, we'll help you out by targeting some more goddamn witnesses and those who know too much since they're destroying their goddamn lives or trying to discredit them or taint three fools, see? And those people that's there are terrified of that. So yeah, true crime entertainment, y'all, it's really helping all these victims, survivors, fighters, their families, law enforcement, witnesses, juries, the American justice system as you fucking know it, and what'll eventually be the loss of your rights and shit, courts and all these other things, even for shit like speeding tickets and crap. Basic bitch shit. If y'all keep normalizing this, allowing it. Don't ask for precision-based laws to stop it to where it meets. Laws meet tech evenly and stop just tragedy things. It'll change the entire landscape. Talk about freedoms. It's gonna annihilate half years inside of it. And you know, honestly, some people like DeSantis did trying when the whole Florida was like, we've had enough of Bullhorn and MGL and Olivia and everybody else down there in lockdown and such. And when something done about him, DeSantis took it, roped the dope, type of shit, come back, took half of Floridians fucking shit away. Yep, didn't get rid of tragedy pimps though, right? And well, people like him exist everywhere in this country and they will take your rights while pretending they're all about the rights and freedom. And if they can start getting it to where you don't really have any rights in courts and the justice system, you're really going to be fucked. And imagine all that caused by a few measly tragedy pimp specks of shit on the salad bar like Tiffany Marie and BK and White Boy and MGL, fucking one episode of Wife Swap fame and fucking JLR down there who's already been to prison, has introduced the world to fishing and over sucking Mountain Dew bottles and doing Hail Hitler signs and equating Idaho 4 victims to fucking Texas Roadhouse steaks and yeah, all up in the faces of Sandy Hook parents. Got you to Alex Jones though, right? Yeah. People watch. Imagine those though. These bunch of dipshits. It's amazing what little specks of shit on the salad bar can do. And what they will inevitably do, if it's allowed to continue without precision-based laws that meet tech and stop the shit. Or say like this band, very fucking idiots. All of them are rounded up and made or held to account so severely that it sets a fucking example for the rest of the goddamn internet and what is considered a true crime and trauma. And it puts the fear in everyone so that they never ever attempt what these shit stains and others like them, like Turtle went on down, do and have done. No more Karens from cul-de-sacs with suburban rain. Right. No more dreaming of wanting to be don't fuck around cats. No more 40 fucking owls committing crimes. No more Karens around water coolers and their jobs at CASA, DCS, hospitals, services, police departments, secretaries for DA's offices, shit like that. Ever allowed again online in any capacity in the true crime realm without immediately losing their goddamn jobs. And a whole lot of them need to be rounded up and put in jail cells for what the fuck they've done for a very long time in cases and gotten by with because they do it in the dark and their little Discord groups, these sons of bitches in many cases accessing much shit that they should not be for these motherfuckers. Now, when enough of that happens, this shit will stop. So anyway, I don't know. I mean, did y'all ever see Barbara Walters do an interview with, like, victims, families, survivors, law enforcement, witnesses, neighbors, community members, all that shit, and then going and hiding in bushes or creating fake federal agents or, like, giving these people heart attacks or their people heart attacks? Did y'all see that? Did you see Walter Cronkite doing that shit? Hell, Chris Hansen's a piece of shit enough. Did you see him? Well, never mind, don't answer that. He sort of did do some fuck shit. Some evidence shit, the Onision shit, boat shit, merch shit. Yeah, never mind. Chris Hansen was a bad example. My bad. But, oh, one of those original tragedy pieces of garbage. It's fine. Carrying on. But, I mean, any of these real journalists, your local investigative ones, did you see any of those ever throughout history, or like the 2020s, or what's the hell's that other show? Dateline? It Brian, well, okay, Brian did have that, but that involves, you know what? Look, what was his name? Rose. Was it Peter Rose or something? I used to like that guy. He started smoking again on 9/11. We're watching on 9/11. He unbuttoned his shirt, and it was the weirdest shit I'd ever seen in my life. The news reporter did, and he started smoking on there. I was like, he used to be one of my favorite journalists. But yeah, he started smoking again on air that day. And then he did eventually die of cancer several years. But anyway, did y'all ever see these people doing that shit? Hell no. And they got you the information, right? Y'all got to hear about these cases. You got real information in real time from law enforcement, pressers, and all this shit. From the real people in real communities. They were able to talk about their entire fucking world being destroyed. People weren't out here going, I seen this case. Let me go through messages if I can be their friend or fake whoever the fuck I am out really in the world and being like, hey, and hopefully they'll just confess to me as randomly contacting them. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, y'all smoke more Knoxville Fairy Crack than Don ever has. Swear to God. I've never figured it out. Oh, hurrah. Well, I was thinking, you remember when, I think it was Brian Williams got in trouble. My brain went, no, didn't he have something to do with the Geraldo thing? Those are two separate things. Brian got caught lying about the helicopter thing. He was demoted, went to the ocean for a while. Now he's making the comeback. Alright. Geraldo decided to give away our entire war strategy in Iraq after 9/11 and such, because remember he drew it out in the fucking sand for everybody on live TV? Yeah. Geraldo's a whole dipshit. Okay, so whole dipshit. I think my favorite in like the media movies and stuff making fun of him, like in a caricature driven way though, was probably y'all remember, I can't remember the character's name now, but it's when Robert Downey Jr. played in Natural Born Killers. I think everybody looked at Robert Downey's character and went like, yeah, you can't mistake that they aren't taking a jab at Geraldo. Right? Much like the Klan dude did in the chair when he broke Geraldo's nose back in the day. There was a Klan member, wasn't it, on his damn show that broke his nose with the chair? But Geraldo's claim to fame, and he's a bit famous, he went into a psychiatric facility or whatever, and the conditions in which oh my god. If you've ever seen, I was probably the only new shit Geraldo ever did that was legit. And thank God he did, because that was one a scary movie, and you can find that out there in the world. Okay, it's still there. I'm sure y'all can YouTube, Google it, whatever the fuck. But the footage from inside that place is like the worst horror movie you will ever see, and that I just it was horrifying. But yeah, I think that was the last real time he was ever a journalist. A true one. Not featured on a news entertainment station. Dude's a whole ditch. He lost his way when he got famous, like many. It's kind of their thing. That's what gets me about this place, man. I watch some of these local pick-me pieces of shit, right? They really come to some of these creators like they have 2,000 or 3,000 subs. Hell, some of them even have that. When some of these local pick-me's found them. Others, like MGL, they had whatever, fucking McDonald's, whatever, they eventually have 100, 150, whatever the hell it is, right? And these motherfucking locals, like, they go into their goddamn chats like Benny's and shit. And it's like, their panties drop, and they're like, oh my gosh, like like they done met Jesus and shit. And I'm not even, like, I just don't get it. Like, you do realize YouTube can pick up a YouTube, and with enough dumb shit on it. Anybody's allowed one, bro. And are you fucking stupid? And it's like they just get enamored by like these people are actually something. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, dude. I don't think it is though. But I've met like truly extraordinarily famous people and shit, and even those motherfuckers didn't impress me. Like, them some bitches put their pants on the same way. Well, I don't know. If you're Mariah Carey, maybe not. She gets carried around, whatever, like Chase Lounge by 12 buff men. I don't even know, but you get what I'm saying. But her fainting couch, I can't remember. She doesn't walk herself. That's all I'm just saying. Okay, but I've never been impressed. Never. But I can watch it. I mean, it's like when Upchurch does his rounds, or even like when he was here, like, you watch even the other creators, like, you know, when you can watch it when bigger creators get around in here and the shithole, and the other creators be like, oh my gosh, and they just act, I'm like, you know, bro, calm down, put an ice pack on something, you know? I don't get it. And I see a lot of these tragedy events around Summer's, case. They're trying to get TV shows. They want their face on the news. Like, you want to know why? It's so then they can sell their stupid bullshit and make money off of the next case they latch onto. They can then place those articles up and say, look what we did, and a blip this, and a tree that, and blah, 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 in the next case. It's how they insert, how they con the other families, victims, community members, witnesses, insert and fucking absolutely annihilate the next case. The more upright and more legit they can seem by getting their stupid faces on fucking news shit and do all this crap or look like whatever, the easier it is for them to slip into the next case they latch onto and absolutely decimate and destroy, along with whatever community resides in. And you can always bank they're going to pick a Fry Guy and a Non, a Jody Sue, who the fuck knows who else, the neighbors, and like Cash and Classic and shit. I mean, look, whichever fucking case. Rinse repeat, man. Rinse repeat. Um, but they'll always, and the more they can be, it's all they seek, half of them. Somehow this equates to fame and whatever too, and attention or something, and in some realm that feels something for them. Well, I don't know how the fuck they're sleeping, seeking out all that shit and trade for it. Real cases, real lives around them, decimations of entire communities. On purpose. And they know they're fucking doing it. Like, some of them, like, tripped and fell into, or blackmailed, knew they were too far in, shit like that in Summers, and other cases and such, but they're done wound up busting the worst little criminal offenders over here, and it's too late, so they just went with it. Others, they sought out these things, and still do. And in the end, there are a whole lot of fucking treasure hunters circling Summer's case, and I think there are more than a few lead backs locally from the very beginning that are very concerning. More than a little. But I think that there's a lot of things. Oh, and that's another thing. I may sound a little off thing. My throat yesterday, part of it is doing so bad for us. Throat and everything. Even the inside of my mouth was terribly sore. I don't know what the hell was up that. And somebody around me had a strap not too long ago. And I'm hoping it's not that. Because when I have that, I can't feel it quite right. Because there's not a whole hell of a lot of feeling in here. I'm paralyzed, but I also don't have any tonsils. So, you know, it's hard for me to tell on things like that. And then shit like that gets out of hand, I'd have no fucking clue. It'd be real bad. But anyway, felt really crappy yesterday. Still do. And like I said when I first got here, sleep ain't happening. But the throat thing yesterday was not fun. It lessen throughout the evening. And there were some text messages I wanted to go over, but I don't think that's going to be tonight. Maybe later today. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe next week. Next month. Anyway, oh yeah. Yeah, I've been on here for far too long. And I'd kind of just rather hang out the remaining night. Maybe fix some coffee and go outside into the cool air. Burn puzzles and fires. I did find something weird though yesterday. It's another one of these creators' creation dates. And knowing it, I just knowing what it is and what it's been around Summer's case and all of us. Finding this one little thing on it. I don't know, man. Certain creation dates, certain channels, man. They do make you wonder. And watching it like the other one I recently found under hidden clothes after certain other funky shit the entire way through Summer's casing. Looks like many other, including extreme real life shit that do with the feds and nationwide, probably worldwide attention on scammers that was around in real life. Oh yeah. It's been a weird couple days. Weird. It's always little things, right? Time, perspective, slowdowns, the ability to burn without interference. Yeah, I don't know. See where it all shakes out. Right?
Things that, again, everybody is on the table when it comes to being a suspect, said that everyone
interest in this case. As soon as we said we would be revisiting it, and it is one of the first missing cases that we covered, the emails started pouring in. People care about this case now, 2 years later, just as much as they did when Summer first went missing. I have a lot of questions from viewers, and I'm going to try to get to some of them. Some may be difficult to answer, but you're closer to the case than most. I want to begin with a question from Betty in Florida, and she says, does law enforcement have any person of interest or suspects in the case, or have they throughout the investigation?
And I'm telling you, if they took a question from Bullhorn and offered it to Ainsley, I swear my losing bullshit. But I know there has to be a lot of Bettys in Florida, right? This is a nation we're talking about with and fist bumping the Bullhorn at Idaho 4. Y'all remember that shit? Yeah, that's what I didn't they have Jill on too? McDonough, the other. Carry on.
Investigation, any evidence discovered that supports the theory that Summer had been abducted? Can you shed any light on that question from Betty?
So since the very beginning, law enforcement said that everyone is a suspect in this case, meaning her parents, people who were close to her at church, anybody in the family, such as her grandmother, maybe even implying to other members of the family and neighbors. So again, law enforcement has not ruled anyone out 2 years later. However, nobody has been charged. So I think that that's important to kind of say both of those things, that again, everybody is on the table when it comes to being a suspect, said that everyone is a suspect in this case, meaning her parents, people who were close to her at church, anybody in the family, such as her grandmother, maybe even implying to other members of the family and neighbors. But there are several people involved in,
and it is one of the first missing cases that we covered.
Of course it was. The nation built itself sort of too on Summer, Idaho. I don't know. It's a lot of what around it. Just thought I'd play it one more time. Just find it strange. It was 5 months ago. Angela's definitely got her ears on the ground here, you know. Tool fashion or not, whole thing is it's 5 months ago. And it's not said her mother and grandmother, it's said Summer's parents.
The emails started pouring in. People care about this case now, 2 years later, just as much as they did when Summer first went missing. I have a lot of questions from viewers, and I'm going to try to get to some of them. Some may be difficult to answer, but you're closer to the case than most. I want to begin with a question from Betty in Florida, and she says, does law enforcement have any person of interest or suspects in the case, or have they throughout the investigation any evidence discovered that supports the theory that Summer had been abducted? Can you shed any light on that question from Betty?
So since the very beginning, law enforcement said that everyone is a suspect in this case, meaning her parents, people who were close to her at church, anybody.
Parents, people who were close to her at church.
In the family, such as her grandmother, maybe even
Grandmother.
Even implying to other members of the family and neighbors.
And maybe even applying to other members of her family, though, whatever, and I'll leave it there.
So again, law enforcement has not ruled.
And neighbors. So, I don't know. Once again, what about fucking Starlink or whatever, and 7 alibis or whatnot, and Jamie? I don't know, man. Polygraphs. This was 5 months ago. And why is it not stated? It's weird who gets mad at that time when they're rounding curves in their big ass truck. Oh, poor Fifi's. Bless. Anyway. Yawn. So anyway. Amongst parents, and then the next listed are those close to her church. Not people who could have met her through the church, not people familiar with her from church, not someone who may have come into contact with her or seen her at church. No. Ansley says those who are close to her. What the fuck is that? And then going all the way back to the brick wall piece. Good catch. One of Carl's little groupies. Sophomore. Anyway, but that brick wall piece looked like. Anyway, like I said, but that right there. What the fuck? And then Grandis is listed, and then maybe other members of the family. And then neighbors. I'm telling where to shit. Whatever. They're gonna get Carl started again though. It's weird Carl hadn't latched onto this though. Y'all know how Carl's been about that church shit from the beginning. But he always has put that Bermuda Triangle bullshit on it. And of course you have MGL and everybody else in the church filming everybody else's children, because you know how they actually like to harm and out and dox and terrorize and try to tamper with or fuck with the smallest witnesses to Summer's, life and community and June 15th and such. You know how I love to do that. Love to target and torment and especially use children and whatever against their parents as well. Even each other around here. They do it creator versus creator, and they do it and use that tactic and technique in and around active and ongoing investigations to terrorize, torment, witness tamper, blackmail, you name it, bro. It's kind of thing. Hell, y'all seen Tom B do again recently. He thinks he's cute. So anyway, and sharing them in his comment section should not be lost on anybody. So anyway, 5 months. Interesting. Keep thinking about it. But anyway, yeah, you think that. But, oh wait, that's right. Carl's busy calling everybody a pedo around here 5 months ago. Probably distracting from this shit, honestly. Because they were during it, was chasing and Jenny and Penny and all, like, they had to cleanse everything up around that same duration. Remember that? So it behooved this place to use Carl for something else and pretend like distraction. And targeting. And trying to shut down others. And trying to tie up loose ends and to try to slap them over seats to help little criminal. Carl just is what Carl is. Anyway. Never could lay off the whole woo-woo, everybody's eating babies aspect Bermuda bullshit of it either. But that too's the fake crazy Carl who's fake Bermuda Triangle. Just for trying to keep certain brains, audience, shit, whatever. Anyway, y'all do me a favor. As always, if you don't mind, please share the DV/Universal Hand Signal for Help. It can does save lives, not just in domestic violence, not just in kidnappings, abductions, things in public. It can help those at home alone that are choking or having some sort of emergency, or those who can't vocalize, or strokes, or medical emergencies where they can't anything, and special needs. It can help children who are, if look at the thing. A lot of times, children, they can learn those things before they could learn how to speak or do whatever real good, or like just teaching kids that, right along with how to dial 911, could save and change a whole lot of lives in their own and everything else. And I think as tech catches up with 911 call centers, and things, the astronomical impact that alone can have, and the lives it could save will increase a million times more than you could imagine. But y'all, it can help women, children, victims of all kinds get help in time, especially if they're far away from help. It can help them leave paper trails through years to where it's not just some, especially in domestic violence. It can help so many. Alright, it can. And it's been proven to help and save. So please, if you get a chance, please share it, learn it, teach it, be able to recognize it, whatever. And as always, please do share Summer's picture, information, and color binder. It is a very tangible way to help find her, to hopefully shake loose things, and maybe even, as absurd as it sounds, find justice for her and out the person or persons responsible for whatever transpired on June 15th and how she just vanished instantly. Maybe even eventually somebody will do the right thing after staring at her little face and ocean waves of it online for so long. And they'll do the right thing. And they'll turn themselves in. They'll tell what happened or where she is. And they'll let her story be told instead of it remaining a mystery or going into one. Maybe they'll do the right thing so her brothers have answers. Because forget the world. It's not about the world. It's about Summer, brothers. It's what she deserves, and what they deserve. And what they deserve is for Summer's story to be told by her, law enforcement, courts. They all deserve to have peace, to move forward, chains broken. and to have lives that are happy and full of love and futures. Somebody out here knows who. Somebody out here knows what they've done and the chain of events and the massive amounts of damage. And I wish every day they would just come forward and do the right. Every day I wish that. Thing is, they can't outrun it. They won't get away with it. It's not going to happen. No matter how hard they try. Justice. Justice will find it. Anyway, y'all, we can only hope, right? Every day. But anyway, please do share Summer's picture, information, and call her by her name. And y'all know, by information, I do not mean the bullhorns, jailers, tragedy pimp, or even the nations and the Intons and those types of motherfuckers. Now, I know, but it's Ansley, okay? And, stick with the local and surrounding law enforcement agencies, um, state, federal agencies, and those like Ansley, local and investigative journalists, okay? They are the information, okay? And I do beg of everyone to please go check out the Fed's Q&A on Summer. You can easily find it through, Googling, going directly to them. Q&A on Summer is there. If you can watch a clip or 2 minutes of Bones or Strangler or Floppy or any of these other dipsticks around here, you can go read for 30 seconds. It would keep so many of you on your heartstrings from being used. It would keep you from being misled by all these tragedy events. It would keep so many of you from being able to be manipulated, pulled into, and used as further criminal buffers between them and justice of their own and laws, and getting you all up to crimes you can't get out of either, okay? Or by being used. But it would also help Summer and to keep basics out there and stuff known and not mixed up. Just and if you can't find over, I know Bobo has written it up in the Rogers Review, and you could easily Google Rogers Review, Bobo, Summerwell, and find the piece there, where the FBI and TBI's Q&A on Summer in those articles of Bobo. So anyway, y'all, hope y'all had my cat is dreaming currently and doing weird things over there. Scared me. I just seen those ear tails twitching erratically and I don't know. But I hope y'all had a good day yesterday and evening and such with your families, loved ones, friends, your critters, whatever made you happy, comfortable, and peace. Yeah. And I hope that for all of you every day. And, if you get a chance, like always, somewhere at some point, try to kick good little pebbles into the pond somewhere in the world. A little ripple can become a tsunami on the other side of the world, crash ashore. Maybe you don't even realize it, but even something as small as a smile at a stranger, looking like they're having a great day, can travel the world through other people in different ways and acts, and kindnesses, and save lives halfway around the world you'll never know about or see, but the simple things like that can indeed change the world. Be a spark somewhere at some point, sometime. You know, even little sparks can light up the world. And never forget that even one voice matters. And even one voice can be heard. Use yours if you can, where you can, when you can. And speak till the ground shakes. If that's what it takes, this person. Alright, y'all. I'm out of here. Y'all have a good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever y'all are.
Anyone out 2 years later?
Tell me something that I don't know. Give me nothing but love and hope. I hope I can find my paradise. Deep down under, and all I've seen beyond the wonder, still I dream. I know I can make that sacrifice. What is hopeless and what is real? Well, I wish I knew how I feel. I hope I can find that love inside. So give me shelter, bring me along. There's a place where we all belong. Still I wonder, where's my paradise? And I'm my paradise. And I'm my paradise. Out of the darkness, show me the way. We all get lost, caught and astray. Hold me close and tell me everything's alright. Turning solo down, more silent, the greatest sound. Still I wonder, where's my paradise? And I know, I'm my paradise. And I'm my paradise. And the road it goes, and your soul alone takes me back to where we started. When you're out there, follow your heart and go. They say that home is where the heart is. I wonder where the wind that blows, the reason why it blows so close whenever lifetime's slowing down, my growing up is getting older. I'll feel at home and be alone tonight. And all the rain keep falling down, the world comes out and spinning round. It's in your heart, it's all I thought I'm getting lost and being found. I found my paradise. And I know, oh, I found my paradise. And I know, oh, found my paradise.